even the capacity. Your immune system will diminish to the point where it won't be robust to even have the capacity to do those things, then I would like to see evidence of it.
Sure.
If the claim, yeah, sure. Okay, so what publication?
So, no, wait. Yeah. Let's first clarify. So, Abby, okay, if what you're saying, listen, all your objections of what you were saying, right, they ended up, right, in saying that there was no problem if a person is not, exposing itself, right, to different, bacterial threats and whatnot. This will not affect their immunological system's capabilities. This is what you said. Now,
you know what I mean by that?
Oh, of course. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What you're saying is it makes no difference.
No.
Is that the point? The point is that it does make a difference, but...
Nope, you're already not understanding.
For Mike and
you're already not understanding. So
wait,
it does. The claim is not that it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make an immune system difference. The claim is that the type of difference it makes. It
doesn't matter.
Okay, well, no, I didn't say it doesn't matter. I said there's a certain difference that it makes and a certain difference that
what's the difference then?
Yeah. So the difference. So again, the difference that it does not make is that it doesn't turn the immune system into something that is some non-robust and it won't be able to have the capability of recognizing infectious agents and fighting them off. What it does do, the difference that it does make, is that there are certain infectious agents that could have been recognized during that time frame that were not, and that if they were exposed to those infectious agents, they would have a longer process of recognizing and fighting it off. That is a difference that would be made. So, do you understand the distinction?
So let me ask you something. I do understand the difference. So let me ask you something. Sure.
It's 1 second.
You're saying that once a person have reached, the exposure, that person is already immune to that types of, threats, but he's not going to be, able to deal with new threats, right? Which Okay, let me ask you something. Okay, I have a question.
Okay, sure. You can ask a question to clarify, but I just want to point out that you can't, as of now, you can't actually reproduce what I've even said my position was.
That's fine. But so this is a clarifying question. Okay, so you're making a distinction. You're talking about processes and whatnot. I want to know the following, just plain and simple, Abby, right? Mm-hmm. If, your immunological system, which is just composed of many different mechanisms, right? But we're talking about the system as a whole. My question to you is the following. If it is the case that you, for some reason, forget about the mechanisms, so I just want to know what is going to be the end result of you not exposing yourself to different types of, threats? What's going to happen to your immunological system as a whole? That's what I want to know. Either the person is not going to have any problems dealing with the usual fucking types of bacteria, right? Or right, you're claiming, right, that this is what you're claiming, that they're not going to have trouble dealing with that type of bacteria, only new type of bacteria. This is what you're saying, right?
Okay, so the answer to your question is, if I go through a period of time where I don't expose myself to various different infectious agents, then if I go out from that, what will happen is it will take longer for me to recover from certain conditions if I do get them. If those are conditions that I would have been exposed to in the meantime. So what is not the case that my immune system wouldn't be able to recognize them and fight them off any more than it would have otherwise if it was a new condition that I would have been exposed to if I was going out and frolicking about, for example. So yeah.
So let me ask you something, Abby. We were talking about the numbers, and I was making an analogy. You are the doctor; you must know. Now, I was making an analogy between a military system having knowledge of how to defeat an enemy. That is basically when you get vaccinated. That's what they do. You're inserting the enemy. These guys learn how to beat and defeat this guy, and then they're able to defeat the following threats more easily. However, that is not the only type of information that the immune system is dealing with. We are talking about numbers in the case of white globules and all this shit. A healthy immune system is going to be a system that is constantly dealing with these things. If you're not exposed, then your body is going to prioritize the energy that it's spending on different other systems, right? If your immune system is not being attacked, then it is no longer needed. Many of the number of the fucking militants, they're going to be gone because they're not needed, right? And if
so that I reject. So I'm not aware of any study showing that even in sterile exposure environments that white blood cells become leukopenic or that they experience leukopenia as a result of it, unless they have some underlying condition that causes leukopenia. If you do have any data showing that, I would be happy to see.
Okay, that's fine. So Abby, just a clarifying question. When we're talking about the immune system, what are the components of it? Can you tell me what are
there's the innate, there's the innate immune system, which is so there's at the beginning there's skin barriers, there's barriers to infection, and then there's natural killer cells, there's T cells, there's helper T cells. Those are part of the adaptive. Natural killer cells are actually part of the innate immune system, but T cells and helper T cells, those are part of the adaptive immune system, not the innate immune system. There's B cells, and then they can differentiate into plasma cells, which pump out antibodies. There's a whole lot.
These cells are produced, aren't they?
Sure.
What produces those cells?
Yeah, there are certain stem cells that are progenitor cells in the bone marrow that end up differentiating into.
Okay, so what happens? Okay, what happens when? This is what I'm trying to tell you. What happens when your body is being constantly affected by bacteria? Isn't the response of the body to create more cells to attack?
Yeah, in some cases, yes. So the answer is yes. The response is there's a number of responses that happen depending on how the infection is and whatnot. One response, yes, you can see leukocytosis, which is a body response which leukocytosis is just an increased white blood cell concentration in the blood. There is antigen presenting cells that would present the antigens to B cells, which can increase antibody production against those cells, and then they can differentiate into memory cells, which can, if the same infection presents itself again, they can ramp up production quicker than you would have originally otherwise.
Exactly. Exactly. So you were asking for a study, right, to tell you exactly what you already know.
You just know.
Listen, wait. You are conceding. Wait. You just conceded. You just conceded, Abby. Let me tell you why. No. You spoke. Let me fucking address it. Let me fucking address it. You're going to shut up.
Okay, go ahead. Strawman me. Go ahead.
So you agree that when the body is being attacked, then a huge number of cells is being produced in order to combat this fucking thing. This is just normal, right? Now, if it is the case that you have more cells being produced, right? Because you are living on a constant threat, right? When you are not, those types of cells, they just start disappearing, right? Now, the numbers of those cells that are able to fucking combat the fucking enemies, even though they might have the
you want an answer or do you want a monologue?
How to defeat them. Okay.
Do you want me to answer or do you want a monologue?
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So those specific cells, the specific cells decrease to a normal amount. There's the normal range of blood cells. What happens if you're not exposed to any of them is they decrease to a normal range. They don't decrease to nothing. They don't become this, they usually shouldn't even go low. They don't go to the low.
Oh, really? Okay, let me ask you something, Abby. Okay, listen, Abby. I'm going to ask you something. Abby, what is going to happen? According to you, say a person is living on a house and that house is completely disinfected from any, bacteria, any fucking threat. You are claiming that person is going to remain with an immunological system that is on a regular, normal level. This is what you're saying, right? And that is going to remain. I'm sorry, what?
If what you mean by an immune system, if the metrics that we can measure that you mean by immune system level is a white blood cell count, the concentration of white blood cells, yeah, that should maintain in a normal range if it's a healthy human.
A normal range is determined by the exposure a normal person has in their life. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So you're not connecting the dots between if a person, shut your fucking ass, I am in the middle of saying something. If a person, right, is regularly exposed to a different set of fucking bacteria, that is going to be the normal level. Below that, when he's not exposed to shit, the immunological system is going to match that fucking level of threat. It is going to match that level of threat. This is what I'm saying. Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying. You're just wrong.
Okay, wait. Dismissal is not a counter argument. So what am I saying is I'm going to show you these studies that you're talking about, right? And how the immunological system actually mirrors and is a response to the threats that an individual is going through. And the reason for that, Mr. Medical Doctor, it's because the goddamn body, right, actually is a fucking energy efficient machine. So the body is not going to spend any fucking amount of energy creating an immunological system that is not fucking required as a result of his interaction with the environment. So my friend, you fucked up. You put yourself in a position where you're going to get fucking exposed, motherfucker. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Go ahead.
All right, cool. The monologue that's a cool monologue. Okay, so you clearly have not even understood.
Oh, really? Now you're back.
I'm gonna. I'll repeat. No.
Tasteless is going to be muted.
Well,
let's
Avi
get
has
your
mine.
rendition.
You can just let Avi decide.
So again.
Oh wow!
So
I didn't give him. I'll give him
the study you asserted. So the study you've asserted. I don't think anyone's going to agree. Wait, what?
Do you want me to mute?
Oh no. Keep him. No.
Okay.
Just until you get. Okay.
Yeah, let me just get a word out because he won't even let me get any word out. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think he's actually interested in understanding what my position is. He's just interested in monologuing. Because he clearly was not able, when asked to reproduce what my position was, he wasn't able to appreciate the distinction. So he's probably going to give me some paper showing that the what's going on in the immune system mirrors the functionality of the immune system mirrors what the exposure is, which is not even disagreed with in that sense. What's the sense?
No,
what specifically?
Never linked a paper to anything in the 3 years I've known.
Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe he won't be able to do that either. But the key here is that the metric. So one metric I offered was white blood cell concentration count. Now, my assertion here, very clear, is that someone will not be leukopenic, a healthy adult healthy male or female adult will not become leukopenic if they go into a sterile environment. Now, if Tasteless wants to show me a paper where a healthy adult male does become leukopenic without any medical conditions that cause leukopenia as a result of going into a sterile environment, I will invite him to do so.
Sure.
If all Tasteless is going to... Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. However, listen, you already conceded. Whoa. The
He's going to say completely irrelevant.
Hey, don't fucking interrupt me. Listen. Wait. Let's clarify. Wait. No. Let's clarify the positions. First of all, you first denied that the immunological system mirroring and matching the level of threat, right? You were denying that. Now you conceded. That's fine. That's a change in your position. Now, the other thing that, listen, now what we're trying to do. Hey, whoa. Hey, don't interrupt me. Hey, don't interrupt me. I'm going to mute you. Hey, be respectful. It is my turn.
Okay, so I'm muting you, Tasteless. I'm sorry, because I have to, if I'm getting strawmanned, I do have to be able to respond to that. So you've strawmanned me. So it depends on what sense you're talking about. You don't understand how the immune system works. So again,
you're over talking him.
If you're talking about a specific response mirroring, yes, I agree to that in the first place. If you're talking about a general state of the immune system's ability to respond to other infections, no, I don't agree that that's going to be mirrored. I don't think that in the sense that if someone is not exposed to them, that they will no longer have an immune system that's able to respond to them. So now I will unmute you, and hopefully when I unmute you, you'll be able to appreciate the distinction in what I said and didn't say, and hopefully you'll be able to reproduce it. If you monologue, I really hope you're not going to just monologue, but I'll give you a chance.
Okay, first of all, doctor, I was going to address that. I was going to make a distinction. When you decided, listen, I was in the middle of making my point. When you decided, I'm going to stop you and misrepresent what you were going to say. You don't know, right? You don't know. You just decided that you're going strawman because I wasn't able to get to the second part where I made that distinction. Now, it is the case, doctor, that I left you and allowed you to, speak your mind and give your full opinion. And when I even started making my point, you decided to mute me. Now, that is a clear instance of you being fucking terrified and being, knowing that you're losing the goddamn point. Tasteless. Now, Tasteless, I was going to say, whoa.
Tasteless, do you understand what my position is? Can you reproduce my position?
So, from what I can gather, right? First, you denied that, when the the level of threat decreases, the the immunological system also decreases. That is going to match whatever level of threat it is receiving.
And what did I mean?
But you said first. Wait.
I'm gonna don't make me mute you again.
I am in the middle. Don't ask me questions. I'm making a point.
No. I'm not gonna let you monologue. I'm not gonna let you
stop abusing your shit.
I'm not gonna let you monologue. Listen,
this is not a monologue.
I'm not. Listen. When
I am not going to let you take control over my.
I was very clear. Tasteless. What I specifically meant by that. What I meant by that.
No, you were not.
Okay, so let me make myself.
You're pivoting.
Let me make myself clear. What I specifically mean by that is that it is not the case that if someone is going to isolate themselves from infectious agents, it is not the case that their immune system will result in this degenerative state or non-robust state such that they will have a problem recognizing new infections.
No, that is you inserting a whistle, trying to whistle yourself out of what's going on.
I think that's
Listen to me, motherfucker. No. Stop
okay.
Trying to insert shit in order for you to whistle. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to need you to be very clear. No. Enough with the whistling fucking tactic, Tabby. Listen, I am going to ask you questions and you're going to answer them in order for me to clarify your position. Is it the case or is it not the case that you're saying that if a person is in a totally, right, disinfected environment, that they are not being exposed to any threats, that person, when he is done being exposed to that type of an environment, he is going to be able to return to a previous state, where a normal previous state, without any fucking troubles in the immunological system, not being able or getting sick. He will get fucking sick. And you know why he will get fucking sick? You said, because he encountered new fucking bacteria. Fuck you, dude. You are going to try to whistle yourself.
Do you want my answer, or are you just monologuing? Okay. So I did not mute, by the way. Someone else muted you because they can tell that you're monologuing. Okay, cool. So the answer to that is, as I've said from the beginning, and as I've clarified the distinction, which you don't seem to be able to comprehend, yes, the person will have troubles, and those specific troubles are not being exposed to infectious agents that they would have otherwise been exposed to. And if they meet those infectious agents, it will take longer to ramp up immunity.
You're begging the question.
Because, begging the question has a specific meaning. It means I'm assuming... Do you know what begging the question means? What is begging?
You're saying, basically, you're inserting the conclusion. Listen, you're inserting your conclusion. If this happens, it was because of what I said. I am trying to demonstrate that what I'm saying is correct. And if that happens, that is just going to prove that. However, listen, you're saying it doesn't matter. Listen. You're saying
begging the question.
Listen.
I was begging the question. What is begging the question?
Okay, I think. Listen, if you're trying to make an argument, if you're trying to make an argument, what is it demonstrates?
Wait, Tasteless, you said I was begging the question. Can you tell me what begging the question is?
Yes, it is inserting the conclusion in the premises. The conclusion you're trying to make.
What premise?
You're saying that if this person becomes infected, it is going to be because they were exposed to different things, not the old things.
That was when I clarified my position.
That the immunological system does.
So wait, Tasteless, you understand how that's impossible to be begging the question, because this is just me stating what my position is. This wasn't even bringing an argument for my position, so I wasn't even levying premises. If begging the question means inserting my conclusion into one of the premises, it's literally not possible for me to have been begging the question, because I wasn't providing any.
It is or not?
Do you appreciate how what you accused me of is actually?
Do you know what an enigmatic argument is, or yes or no?
Wait, what?
Enigmatic argument.
A pneumatic art? I'm sorry.
I don't know why you're fucking cutting out, but you are.
You're cutting.
I think he was screeching into his microphone, and it interprets a normal voice as background noise. So now it's just canceling.
He's asking if you know what an entomeme is. So an argument that has premises that are just supposed and not brought up explicitly.
Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't brought any premises to I was just trying to clarify what my conclusion was. I haven't even brought in premises to support it yet. So I don't know how it's possible. Again, I just don't know how it's possible for me to be begging the question when I haven't even provided premises to support my argument. We haven't even gotten to that phase. All we've gotten to is him not understanding what my position is, aka my conclusion, and me clarifying what the conclusion is. So
listen, I'm listening to you. I'm not listening to you.
If you're going to accuse me of begging, if you're going to accuse me of begging the question, you need to show. And I haven't even provided premises.
I was in the middle of doing that, and you've listen. When you're doing that, it is entailed what your argument is, because if you're trying to bring this up as an objection, right, to what I was saying, and you trying to insert that yes, they're going to be. Listen, you're just saying yes, they're going to get ill. But it is going to be from new fucking diseases, not the old ones. This is what you're saying, and that is a self-validating fucking claim.
Yeah,
however,
that's my,
all I want to know.
Self-validating. Wait, what do you mean self-validating?
Listen, all I want to know is the following. Pay attention, doctor. So it is going to be the case, right? That listen, your immune system is dealing with yes, old shit and new shit, but you're saying basically that once it dealt with an old shit, then there is no longer a problem. And what I'm trying to tell you is the following. It is not just about knowing what type of enemies you're fucking facing, but it is about the numbers of fucking, cells that are going to fight that fucking thing. So you're saying, listen, I am the one declaring that the number of cells being produced, they are going to be so low. It doesn't matter whether they know how to deal with some bacteria.
Go ahead.
It matters the numbers, and the numbers being diminished, it is going to present a fucking health issue to that person dealing with a regular exposure again.
Cool. Can you provide the paper to show leukopenia? And
I didn't say that. That's a straw man.
You actually just did.
That's incorrect.
Someone recorded me. You actually said sure. That was your when I asked
you are a straw man.
Oh, you're lying now. You are a liar. You are. I specifically said. I really hope someone recorded this. I specifically said Tasteless. What I specifically said was someone who will not become leukopenic unless they have a medical condition become leukopenic if they are isolating themselves in a male or female.
What is leukopenia? What is leukopenia?
A decreased blood concentration of white blood cells. Lower than the normal.
Decreased to which degree? To which degree?
Out of the normal range.
To which degree?
Lower than the normal range.
Okay. Wait. Now you're making a claim, and with that claim, you're gonna get fucked. With that claim that you just made, you're gonna get fucked, and you're gonna get exposed. Go ahead. So the normal, the number. Listen, pay attention, you dummy. The number, the regular and the normality of the immunological system is determined by the normal interaction a person is going to have in its day-to-day basis.
100 to 11,000 white blood cells per microliter.
However, if you are not exposed, and this is the claim, if you are not exposed to threat, the body is going to give preference to other systems. Okay. The energy is going to be used properly. And since you're not being attacked, then the body goes, you know what, motherfucker? This is not needed right now. So we're going to give you like more energy to produce other types of cells. You are saying that this is not the case. You're saying that this is not what happens, that the immunological system, it has a regular level like water, and when it's attacked it increases, but when it's not attacked it lowers so much, but the level, it will remain the same. This is what you're saying, you stupid idiot.
Holy shit. I don't know where you guys find this guy. Okay, so just to clear the terms up. So leukopenia, is a white blood cell concentration.
Can I ask one little thing before you correct him? When you say Tasteless is lying, don't you think that begs the question of assuming that Tasteless actually understands what your position is? 'Cause he said he lied about your position, right? I don't think he even understands what.
No. I'm saying no. I'm not saying he's lying about my position. He's saying false things about my position. But when the lie was specifically about him saying he could provide a source,
I couldn't hear over him. Say again.
Yeah. So his lie was that when I said, "Can you provide a source showing leukopenia for a patient who did this XYZ, the sort of thing," and he said, "Sure." When I took my mic off, he said, "Sure." But before we even get to that, I just want to. I'm going to ask you a question. Blah blah blah. And then he derailed. His specific lie was that he didn't say he could provide a paper for that when he in fact did previously in the conversation.
Yeah, but doesn't that also just beg the question of assuming Tasteless has like awareness of what he said 5 seconds ago?
Oh, yes, true. If Tasteless doesn't actually is not actually aware of the things he's even saying, then it wouldn't be a lie. Then it would just be a false.
So
Yeah,
are you
I
done?
don't think we can ever claim.
So listen. But
So I'm not. Wait, I'm not done. So I wanted to be clear about what my claim was. So the normal concentration of white blood cells, the lower end for leukopenia is 4,500 white blood cells per microliter. Now, what I am asking you to provide is this state in a normal, healthy adult going into a state of sterility, not going sanitizing everything, will decrease his white blood cells.
No. You're asking me about very specifics. We know, listen, that the immunological
That's kind of what we do here in medicine.
Wait. Now you're fucking pivoting like, you seem like fucking Scottie Pippen, dude. So listen, the reality is the following. Now that you have done, with your butt touching session, let me tell you something. I have not strawmanned your position at all. Everything that I've said, it is actually listen, you spewed it and you stated. Listen, now you are saying that this lockdown, you're saying this, and you said this, it was not going to be a problem for people, not because of those reasons, right? Because, the normal systems are there. So if they're going to return to normal activity, they're not going to have a problem. This is what you're claiming.
That's not.
Oh, that is not what you're claiming? Oh, shit. So what are you claiming, doctor? Because that was my goddamn question. That was my goddamn question.
Yeah.
If this...
So again, if you'd like to know the answer, if you want to monologue, or do you want to actually know my answer? So again, I did say specifically, and this is why I made the distinction, which you still can't appreciate, that yes, there may be an increased amount of pathogens that someone may not have been exposed to, and the old stuff that someone may be exposed to, that they may have run out of durability. And they may find that when they go out of this state that they have increased colds or increased certain amounts of infections because of that. But what is not the case, what's not going to happen, is that their immune system will become so relinquished that they won't have the capability of experiencing, in fact, reacting to infections, fighting off infections at all, or developing back up to a normal state. Do you understand that distinction?
It is a distinction without a difference. So listen.
It's a huge difference.
No, it is not. Listen, let me tell you why.
No.
Because it is going to be either the case. I am in the middle of making a sense, doctor. Don't be rude. So either it is going to be the case that people are going to, be in trouble as a result of having a deficient immunological system. And when we're talking about a deficient one, we're talking about either being exposed to regular type of bacteria and already knowing how to defeat those. And we're talking about the numbers of cells needed in order for the body to fight regular fucking diseases. However, you're saying that is no problematic. No, this is no problem. Because that is not going to change because we have a normal, you're saying we have a normal fucking, level that is going to remain there as an adult. You achieve that level is there. It is not going to vary just because you're not exposed to different bacteria. This is what you goddamn say, doctor. We fucking hear that shit. Now listen. At the end of the day, I'm not done.
You're just not tracking anything I've said. So again, I didn't say there couldn't be any adverse consequences. The difference, you said it was the distinction without a difference. The difference is in one case, someone can't actually react to anything in the future. Of course, there's a huge difference. In the other case, there may be certain problems, but they're nothing. I will say it again, kiss the toes in comparison to the distinction I'm making, which is what I think is actually going to be the case. Now, the only reason I brought up the cell count is because you actually you said we need cells to fight the infection. So we can go by any metric of cells you want. We can go by white blood cell count. We can go by T cell count per your microliter of blood. We can go by B cell count per microliter of blood. I don't care. I would like you to provide any evidence that if someone a healthy individual does go into a sterile environment without medical conditions that cause leukopenia.
I will. Don't worry.
Go ahead. How about you do it? How about you do it?
And
okay,
when I
I'll tell you what, Tasteless. I'll tell you
what are you going to say? Yeah, sure. No. Whoa. Let me ask you something, doctor. In order to make it interesting for me, what is it that you're going to say when I show you that is the case? What I want to know what is going to be your reaction. Are you going to apologize to me and say, dude, I was a fucking idiot. You were right. Or what is it? What is in there for me? Tell me.
If the study actually supports your position as I've laid out, then I will apologize to you and I'll say you're right.
Great. Now it is attractive to me.
But wait a minute. Hold on. If it turns out that the study you bring over doesn't support your position, if it turns out you've misread the study, or if it turns out
my position.
your position is that the cell count will decrease, that we won't have enough immune system cells.
Yeah. Listen,
He's gonna tell you that's not
the overall. My position is the overall. The immunological system is going to, and pay attention. You pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay, the immunological system is going to match the level of threat that it is going to be, to be suffering under. If you're on environment and that level of threat is high,
We've been through that
your
already.
immunological system is going to have, a higher, let's say, cells attacking these bodies, and therefore it is much stronger. It is also going to be the case that it is going to be a smarter immunological system in virtue of it having a lot of fucking information on how to defeat different bacteria.
You have this.
Wait, because the immunological system, it consists of two, like you said, two variables: intelligence, that is knowing how to defeat a particular bacteria, and numbers. If the numbers are high, it doesn't matter if you're not have been in contact with the previous bacteria. By the numbers, they're going to be able to fucking, find out, the way to defeat that shit and learn about it. Wait, and learn about it. Shut your fucking mouth. I'm in the middle of things, in order for you to know what I'm saying.
No immunologist will agree with that. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I'm waiting for the study. So just to be clear, the study that we're looking for is if a normal adult human goes into a sterile environment and stays in a sterile environment, they will develop a decreased amount of immune cells in their blood below the normal level. And by low normal level, I mean leukopenia, which is it could be defined as either leukopenia or lymphopenia. I don't care which way you do it. You can do total white blood cells per concentration, so under 4,500 per microliter, or you can do below the normal limit of lymphocytes. That can be the case as well.
Sure. Okay.
You show me that.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now listen, doctor.
You have this study.
Hey, no, wait. I was interrupted on me. Listen, I was making a point. I was going to conclude. If you were listening to what I was saying, right? We have those types: first intelligence, two numbers, and it is going to be the case that if your numbers, the number of cells being available in the body, right, they will get exposed to new bacteria. They will be able to defeat that and learn from that, making your immune system much more smarter, and then you will be able to not, be or ill from that disease. But if it is the case that your immunological system, it is not battling, then the cells available in the body to fight infections because you're not being exposed to, it is going to be low. And in virtue of it being low, then it is going to encounter new bacteria, maybe not dangerous one, but it is going to be new, and they are not going to be able to fucking fight it. So, my friend, I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you guys wrap it up?
The paper I'm going to show you proves exactly what I'm saying, then you will fucking ask for an apology for me. And that's it.
Okay, so to be clear on what you say,
wrap it up a little, because Tamo's he's really anxious. He says he has a reputation to name the trait argument.
I am here to talk about the coronavirus. If he wants to go with name the trait,
that's fine.
Name the trait just becomes trivial with this whole trait equalization bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go.
Let's pander to these guys so we can hear more of Tasteless and a Jewish doctor talk for 3 hours. Great.
Okay, so just to be clear about what the paper Tasteless is going to show me, Tasteless is going to show me that in a normal human adult who goes into a sterile environment and stays in a sterile environment, he will develop leukopenia as defined as
that's used
4,500 white blood cells per microliter, or below the normal limits of lymphocytes concentration in the blood.
So whatever it is, listen, you're trying to insert some technical words. What I stated,
this is what I said.
If the fucking study shows that what I stated is actually correct.
What you
then
stated.
You will fucking apologize to me.
No. Now
you're inserting words in my mouth. I never said even
on what I wanted the study to say. Okay, so
you inserted words in my mouth. I've never claimed nothing about leukemic or whatever. Nothing. All I said was the numbers of cells being available, they're going to diminish so much that when they're back into a normal fucking stage, they're not going to be able to deal.
I'm sorry. Look, I made it clear. Look, Tasteless. I don't really care what the levels are if they're in the normal limits. If they are below the normal limits, they're below the limit of what's defined as the normal range, then I would be interested in it. If you can show me a paper,
Okay.
Okay.
And you will concede that you were wrong and you will apologize.
If they meet that criteria, I will. And if they don't, I hope.
Yeah, that it is below normal. That it's going to match the level of threat. Is that?
No,
It's non-existent.
Now that's changing.
If the threat is not existent, then of course the immunological system will have to match that too.
No, because you can go from leukocytosis. No, because you can go because it's a normal response to go from leukocytosis.
You're saying that. You're saying that is not the case.
Oh God. Okay. All right. I think we're done, Tasteless. Okay. I'll be happy to read your study. I think we're. All right. I'd like to move, dude. I honestly you're probably one of the. I mean, I don't know where you find this guy, guys. Like, where did you find him?
Hey, don't fucking ad hominem. That's a ad hominem attack. That is
I don't
not
know where
going
you found this guy, but again, provide your study. I'm okay with someone going from leukocytosis to a normal white blood cell count.
I'll be expecting you.
That's actually normal, but I'm not. But if less than 4,500 white blood cells per microliter.
Hey, you inserted those numbers.
That's just what's defined to be.
But that's your fucking word. That was your fucking argument, not my argument.
But you agreed to those stipulations.
All right.
Does anyone else
going to bring a study where it.
Does anyone, Tasteless, you could DM me the study. All right, enough. Does anyone else have? All right. Does any